Hello! How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Music Talk stream. I am Rezi Arenji, y'all's favorite music-loving, yarn-spinning orange cat boy. Back yet again to yap your ear off, to yap your ear off with another music-loving VTuber about something, anything we love music-related. I hope you all are doing well today. October 12th, 2025. I deign to say lovely Sunday. Apparently there's a nor'easter blowing through my area tonight, so I'm very much I'm battered down and locked in for the night. But I hope y'all are doing fantastic regardless. I just I think I've been mentioning this in the past few streams, right? But I've been in the middle of another move process, unfortunately. Third time this fucking year. Whoopee for me, I guess. But I'm now finally settled, I guess, in a new place that hopefully should be a lot more stable. And it came with a really dope, sort of LED light strip setup too. So I got that going. I got two other LifeX bulbs that I had. My room looks like goddamn Vegas, and it is fantastic. Other than that, I've been active in my two IRL bands. One, we're seeing off one of our members, and sadly, soon with a final gig. And the other, we're on the cusp of releasing an album, so exciting times for that. But as for the stuff that I've been doing that pertains to, Rezi, I've been continuing to chip away at the glam metal deep dive, the finale script. But unfortunately, with the move this week, it's sort of been slow going for that. But I can confirm that I will be, soon interviewing guests for the third glam metal deep dive. It's not anyone too major, but in terms of my little channel, getting people like this to collab and share their perspective on topics like this, I'm really excited with the guests that I've potentially lined up here. So I'll say more about that as I feel comfortable revealing it, but for now, just know that big things are coming as the parlance goes in the VTuber community. How's it going, Broke Boy Taylor? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well today. That's going well. Hopefully tomorrow, now that I'm all basically settled in, I've unpacked and everything, and today I went food shopping and emptied out all of the furniture that was originally in the room. With all that out of the way, tomorrow should be, I guess, an ideal time as any for me to sort of lock in and work more on the glam metal deep dive script. I'm making good progress in sort of the aftermath years of this point, the post Nevermind years, but I still have a bit of a ways to go, so pray for me, y'all. Anyways, though, I guess we can move on to, we can bring in our guest of the evening. This guy is another sort of, I wouldn't say they're like a collective kind of, but they're in the sort of, I guess, common VTuber friend group that I've been, interviewing recently with the Trickster, with Mortal Martian, very rap-involved VTubers that, have skills in production, have skills in the, in the rap game, and now I'm very honored and intrigued to continue to dig further into this community and hear their perspectives on the music they're making. And this dude in particular, he's pretty cool. His VTuber persona is like this shadow shinobi sort of type. But he's he raps, he's done a bunch of stuff on YouTube, on SoundCloud, and his music tastes are all over the place in the underground, and I'm very much intrigued to dig into that. So I guess with that, would you all please join me in welcoming Terry Kunage? Terry.
My bad. Oh my goodness.
How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, my freaking mouse is acted up stupid. I'm like, no.
Yeah, you're good.
Hey.
Well, glad you could join me tonight. And something, what I usually like to start this stream off is, I like to open the floor to my guests. And in so doing, I like to ask them, like, what sparked their passion for music? Because it's one thing, right, to sort of have music on in the background and treat it as like a mood soundtrack or whatever. It's another thing entirely to be like a rapping VTuber. So, like, where did that journey sort of begin for you?
I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to start it up like before COVID started happening, like at 2020. Because I mean, if I had wanted to do it like in 2018 and 2019, this was like in my high school years. I actually wanted like make actual music, but I didn't know how to because I didn't have my own laptop or PC.
Right.
Because I always use my mom's laptop. Yeah.
So you were more like sort of a casual listener until like the pandemic hit. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when I actually like, I started writing, or I started like, just freestyling. I always listen to rap songs every day. My favorite rapper is just like, I know it's always Eminem. Everybody's just like, oh, I bet you Eminem's his favorite rapper. Yeah, it's everybody's favorite rapper, but freaking Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, anybody else, I can like
those are good dudes. Those are good dudes to learn off of, all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Welcome, Jukebox. Welcome, Juicebox.
Only Juicebox, yeah.
I'm happy to see your regulars trickling in. Welcome, dudes. Yeah, no, and from there, I guess, like, how did you learn to like do your own stuff? Did you like sort of, I guess, use YouTube tutorials, or like do you have friends to bounce off of at all?
Well, actually, the first time I actually used FL Studio, this was like in my senior year. I didn't need a YouTube tutorial. I just like loaded up FL and then I started just clicking on a bunch of stuff, and I was like, oh, so that's how you do it. Because to me, FL Studio, and possibly to everybody else, FL Studio was like a easy thing. Like all you gotta do is just click one thing and it just appears. But my problem with it is you have people like DJ Khaled to say, oh, FL Studio way too easy. But that's besides the that's literally the point. That's the point of FL Studio. Like, there's people who use Ableton, Reason, which I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I have no problem with what all people use, but it's like, if you gonna diss FL Studio because it's too easy, like, bro, there's a lot of producers who produce their own stuff, but besides you calling yourself a DJ, you don't know what you're talking about.
Now, there's something to be said. There's something to be said for DAWs that are very simple in their interface. Like I use Reaper sort of for, whenever I do sort of covers or whatever for VTubing. And it's, I mean, I would say I'm a sufficient mixer. I'm not a proficient mixer by any stretch of the imagination. I just sort of finagle in that DAW to do what I need to do. But when it comes to using something like GarageBand for instance, I've used GarageBand to produce demos or whatever for like my IRL bands, like just using sort of the drag and drop functionality of the MIDI on like the iPad. It's great.
Yeah, I adore GarageBand because I think it was like my favorite ones when I started. Well, not started, but I remember my first DAW, because I didn't have a laptop at first. I didn't have no PC at first.
Yeah.
I used this thing called Music Maker Jam, and this was like
Mm.
alive back in 2000 and the early 2010s.
I
So
see.
I was like, yeah. So like, yeah, because like what you do is it's just like you pick different sounds from whatever you downloaded and just put in your project in there. You got a loop.
Is this a phone app?
It was actually more of a phone app. It was like from from iPhones, Androids, and iPads, and like
Oh,
all their tablets. So I
I
was like, oh,
see.
this is
Yeah.
nice. This is really nice.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I really had fun with it.
Yeah, no, it's I God, I need to get a fucking USB B or whatever the old gen like iPod chargers, iPad chargers was, cuz I have my iPad laying around somewhere. I haven't used GarageBand in ages, but I need to get on that shit.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm like I ain't gonna lie, cause like I normally wasn't really an iPhone person
Oh
until
yeah.
like a few months ago, when I actually had my first iPhone, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What's so special about an iPhone? I got an Android." But knowing the difference between like an iPhone and Android is total bullshit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've always defaulted to Android. I'm just annoyed with Apple's but Apple does make good products. I will give them that. I recently started using like the AirPods in my day-to-day life, and granted, I to give you a point of reference, the earbuds that I used before were fucking Raycons. So it was like going from fucking like listening to like in terms of noise cancellation, it was like, you know, going from like hot garbage to fucking heaven, basically.
Yes, yes. I can second that. I can definitely second that. I don't want my headphones to sound like Carter 6.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no disrespect to Raycon. It's decent for what it is, as far as a starter earbud, like a starter Bluetooth earbud, which it was for me, basically. But I think the fucking AirPods are much better. Shout out to my old fucking supervisor at my job who got them for me as a fucking, I don't remember if it was like a Christmas present or it was an office gift. Just one day he randomly got them he got me and like my coworker a gift, and I'm just like, oh, fucking AirPods. What the hell, man? You have money to burn on that for me? Fucking A.
Yeah. That's. I mean, there's nothing wrong with AirPods, but like my fear with having them is just like they slip out of your ears,
Oh
and
yeah.
then all of a sudden, yeah, that's like my worst thing about them. It's like when you're walking somewhere and if they drop in the middle of a sewer line, you can't get it back.
No, they're very slippery very slippery earbuds for sure, like especially in terms of like, because like I've had it before where I've dropped my AirPods case and it's not magnetically locked, so like the fucking earbuds just start flying all over the ground, and I'm like, fuck, what if that happens like when I'm on a street and like they go, like one of them flings themselves down like a grate, it's like I'm fucked then.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
uh but so you learn through Fruity Loops and all that. You how would you say like you approach your music, like whenever you like write songs, do you usually approach it like fiddling around with something in your DAWs first, or like do you have an idea, do you have a lyric and you go into it from there, like you record the lyrics and then get the beat?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. It's like whenever I open up FL, or not like whenever I fucking whenever I open FL, whenever I like listen to like other beats and like other people's music, And
Right.
it's just like I just stop and I just start like monologuing and freestyling on top of my head, and I'm like, oh shit, that's a bar. I can write that shit. But it's like
Oh,
when you write it, yeah, it's like when you write it, it's so freaking dope. Is when you're trying to write it now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then like I ain't gonna lie, cause this is my inspiration from my music. It literally came from, well, at first, cause I remember when I was like opening FL, because I actually wanted to do like video game music. 'Cause that
Oh,
was like
yeah,
my
yeah.
approach. Because when I opened up FL music, I did the first time I did something. I did like some Sega Genesis music, and I was like,
Oh,
oh, this is
nice.
nice. I'll use this to my advantage. And I did like freaking 12. I did like 12 of them in total.
Oh, neat. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's really cool working with old video game sound fonts like that. Like I used to listen all the time to like different fucking like remixes of video game OSTs with like Sega Genesis sound font and the SNES sound font. That sort of shit's really fun.
Yes. No, and I ain't gonna lie, here's the thing, and no one's really going to bring this shit up but me and possibly every other person, well, oh, everyone, last one of my friends know this because I've been rocking with this dude since day one. Well, not
Right.
day one, but I've been rocking with him since like the Nexus Mega Drive came in. Because
Mhm.
there's a guy, his name is Screw Stash, and
Mhm.
he was the first person who did this Sega Genesis trap music.
I
He's
see.
the first person who done this stuff. And then people who literally just go on TikTok and just spread this false narrative. Like I remember when I was watching one of his shorts in his fucking Super Mario 64 type beats, because what he does is he gets every other sound font from every other game. He does melodies, and all of a sudden he lays a beat on it, and then that's just a day. Like that's one of the most dopest things I've ever seen anybody ever do. I've never seen no one else do this. The only people I've seen do this was like if they like get samples, like they want to sample something else, but they don't get the other instruments from that other game. I saw,
Mhm.
oh, I almost knocked on my own microphone.
You're
I
okay.
When he was making that beat, somebody was like, "Oh, Odwin did it first." I'm like, "Who?" And I know who Odwin is, but I'm like, Odwin. I have never seen Odwin grab a fucking sound font from music.artifact. I've never seen him grab a sound font and then just like do the same thing that Screw Stash has done. But this is
Mhm.
the thing. When you try to copy
Mm.
better than them, it doesn't really match their cadence.
Mhm.
It doesn't. It really, really
Yeah.
doesn't. And it really takes me off of how other people who say they did it first, but we go to their freaking biopic, and we go to like their whole catalog of content and videos and be like, oh, well, you started doing this, but you followed this trend. That doesn't make any sense, because if you did it first, this is my inspiration when I got to do video game trap music from Super Mario 64 and freaking Legend of Zelda and Bomberman, any other of these games, bro. Here's the thing. In Screw Stash, not only Screw Stash, but it was 21K Advance, and it was JTL who made the subgenre called Shotendo.
Mm.
And what Shotendo really was like, it used to be like a lo-fi album made by the Game Chops, but it was actually a subgenre made by 21K Advance and JTL, because
Mm.
I know for sure they were the one they were like the two people that I know who made this literally in a bag.
Mhm.
And whoever who makes this shit and who spreads this false narrative and say, oh, I did it first, no, the fuck you did it, because if you did this shit, I would have watched you did this shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, music's music. I feel like we stress too much about the origins of things and not so much about trying to build upon it.
Yes.
Like it's fascinating that you're so immersed in this like whole underground culture of like video game like rap music that I'm not even sort of familiar. Like, what's the history there? Like, how did you get so like deeply involved with this?
It, dude, I'm not gonna lie. The Sega Genesis, like the sounds of Sega Genesis, it really got me on the inspiration of just like I like
Yeah.
liking music, because
Oh.
like they have this, yeah, because I know they have this sound chip called it was a Yamaha 2612,
Oh
which
wow.
was channeled by 6 sounds, and it's like from every other instrument that was like bit crushed and like synthesized into one machine. And I'm like, oh wow, that's really nice. And I've seen a
Hmm.
lot of people do remixes. I saw a lot of people do like mashups. And then
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
people in Japan who compose like the songs from Sega Genesis. They take inspiration off America's music, because
Hmm.
here's the thing, and I can possibly give an example. I remember listening to one of the soundtracks from Sonic the Hedgehog, the first Sonic the Hedgehog, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know there's this one song called well, it's a fucking act called Spring Yard Zone.
Right.
And at night, what I never knew was it sounded way more.
Yeah, yeah. No,
And I was like, what? And I just listened to like the whole mashup, and I'm like, oh my god, it sounds so similar. But it, like, even though it doesn't match the same, it really fits. It really fits, and that's what I
yeah.
like about it.
I mean, like those composers for the original Sonic soundtracks, they were totally immersed in like all of the pop of the era, like the New Jack Swing, the R&B, and when you get to 3, they fucking hired Michael Jackson for the soundtrack, which unfortunately
Yes,
you
yes.
can't hear these days in the re-releases, but
You really can't. I ain't gonna lie, bro. R.I.P. the King of Pop, but
yeah,
that
yeah.
man, Michael Jackson, was like the epitome of Sega Genesis. Because I know he was like
Yeah.
helping out with the whole soundtrack, but I know I was I was reading some article that they said, oh, Michael Jackson got so upset because the people didn't want to do it how he wanted to do it, and I'm like, that could actually happen.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my
And like
god.
and Moonwalker
Wait,
was such an early seller for the system too, the arcade port and all that.
Moonwalker is like one of my most favorite Michael Jackson games. No one can tell me otherwise, bro. Like, and it's like not only that, but it's like the feeling of every other.
Mm.
And I'm like, how can you even do stuff like this? But I know, and people has been doing this not only in the 1990s, but people's been doing this in the 2000s as well. Because there's this one dog called Defo Mask, and
Mm.
here's the thing: I wanted to use Defo Mask for a long while, but when I literally loaded this shit up, I was like, oh fuck no, I can't do this.
I've literally never heard of this. Is it like super complex, like
So
the
what
engineers DAW or something like that?
So what Defo Mask really is, it's an actual DAW that people like make on like video game covers.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like the same thing as Sega Genesis. They have like every other channel plus
Yeah, yeah.
the squares. So it's powered from every other system, from Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, and from the arcades, the Neo Geos. Like, you got all the consoles built by one app, and which is really
Yeah, yeah.
insane. I'm like, how do people even use stuff like this? And I literally had to like watch one video. It's one person who did this whole song made by Defo Max, and I'm like, oh, that is really too complex.
Oh, wow. Also, I see Andrew Berger just appeared in the chat. Welcome, Andrew. Hope you're doing well tonight. That's fascinating. So, what was I gonna say? How do you discover like new artists? Like, are you sort of the person that's got your ear to the ground on like SoundCloud and YouTube with this genre, or do you also listen to a lot of stuff on Spotify too?
Yeah, like it's I just listen to like every other artist everywhere, no matter if it's like SoundCloud, TikTok, and Instagram. But it's just like if I listen to that one person, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm digging it at first, but it's just like when I listen to it again, I'm like, he's all right. But I wouldn't collab with him.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, and then like every other artist that I've recently been listening to, this was like from not only Screw Stash and 21K Advance, but there's people like Kid Cinzy and Nate from Oregon State. Who else do I actually know who raps? Winter Cole was actually really freaking dope. We made our first EP together that was like 2 months ago. It's called Virtual Fun. It's so cool. But but the thing about the EP was we planned to do like a rollout. Which, it didn't fail miserably, but it actually escalated a little bit because not only we was like fake beefing and we started doing like a fake diss, but it was like both of us literally just cost our names to be kicked off of some other person's prod tape, and I'm like, are you serious?
Oh my
like,
god!
Just because we were doing like a whole fake rollout, but yeah, like we talked it out and everything. Yeah, we talked it out. Everything was cool and all that shit.
That's
but
funny.
Yeah, and I cannot forget that it's not only artists but it's producers too. Like,
yeah,
I always listen to every other producer like everywhere on Instagram and Discord and like everywhere, bro. I like. The first time I actually met Juicebox, this was like I think this was like last year. I think because I remember like when I first met him, I think he was like a loose cannon at first, but when I was like communicating with him more, and I'm like, okay, he's actually really dope. He's really nice, and I always like Juicebox because he really makes unique Pierre Bourne beats, but he's really good at trying new things out, like Neptunes, which is I really love Neptunes. I adore that shit. And it's not only that, but it's like he's doing like drum and bass, all these other genres. He's dope. He's really dope to have on a tape with. This is the reason why like he sends me every other beat, and like a few days later, it's just like, hey, cool, I just send you this. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. And I just listen to it. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just put this on my folder, and I might use it later for whatever project I'm doing.
I think it's so cool how hard you ride for your friends. You sent me the list of like artists or what have you that I usually ask of my guests, and I was looking through it before stream, and I'm like, I have not heard of a single one of these guys, and they have all these names that look like like forum usernames, and I'm like, wow, that is that seems like fascinating, but like not to diss them at all, but like it's cool that there's such a rich scene, and like you ride so hard for it, and like whenever you rep as like a rapper, as a producer.
Yeah, but like from Screw Stash all the way to like Shiroshi.
yeah.
Like Shiroshi's really unique. I actually love Shiroshi, but I think I did mention Screw Stash, 21K Advance, when it called. I met Young Scars and Mari through Screw Stash and Usus Mori, because I know Usus Mori was like he's really an artist, but I know he was like riding on the plug and B trend with Screw Stash, they made a group called the Penguin Boys. Like this was like 2 years ago in the middle of Christmas, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. And I started listening to their songs, and I'm like, okay, that's nice. And they dropped a new album, and I'm like, oh man, this is so nice. And then suddenly they had like a whole falling out like in the beginning of 2025, and I'm like, Jesus fuck, that's crazy.
That's unfortunate.
But I'm like, But I mean, I'm glad they're still in talking terms, which I'm really really glad about. I really loved them the most.
There you
And
go.
yeah, Uses Mori. He doesn't do like any other like rap stuff no more. He's on the rock and roll and heavy metal type shit, which
Oh,
I really
nice.
really adore. Like I'm
Cool.
a person who loves every other music genre.
Neat.
Like I have no hate on it. I have no hate on it all the way. I love what I want to love, or I just like
Right.
listening to what I want to listen to. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I know Uses Mori is a treasure. I remember like when I listened to this dude, he was really dope to listen to, and my ears is just like soothe and calm because like I'm listening to this guy's songs. I'm like, oh man, this is so nice. Because he
Yeah.
released Holy Ravioli a few years ago, and I'm like, this is cool. This is really cool. And then all of a sudden, I showed like a lot of support to him, and then all of a sudden, he hits me up on Instagram and was like, hey dude, you want to make a tape? And then I just looked at this thing. I'm like, what? I'm like,
Hell
wait.
yeah.
I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, I just got so excited at first. I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually gonna I'm gonna make something we use this Mario for the first time. And I'm like, I'm so excited. But the thing about it is, I've literally been in the underground for like 3 years, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
cannot fuck this up. I cannot mess this up. I'm with a person who has experience with music. I cannot mess this up. So then, like, he was like, okay, so how do we want to do it? I'm like, okay, cool. I'll send some opens. He said some opens. I'm like, cool. So he sent me a first open, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'll see what he can do with this one. He was like, oh, this is nice. And then we went back to back and back to back, and then we made like 6 whole songs. And
Hell
then
yeah.
like half of the songs was just like produced by Screw Stash, with I fucking really love, because that man Screw Stash can produce any other genre. People be saying, oh, he can just produce like hip hop. Like, this man was from Detroit. I hope y'all know that this man was from the D, bro. The place where you can get when you speak a sentence.
Gotta love the Motor City.
Really good at Detroit beats. Yeah, he's good at Detroit beats, Neptunes, drum and bass, like any other genre he can get his hands on. He's really, really good at his craft. And people, I think it was like the majority of people I see who doubted him for that shit. And I'm like, man, that's some bullshit. He's dope. He's really dope.
Yeah.
I love him, bro.
That's awesome, man. I should check more of that out at some, like, I've not really like I've said, this is kind of the first time I'm hearing of like the concept of like Sega Genesis trap music. That sounds like a trip. I'll have to check that out on my own time. But I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, actually,
oh, what's up?
I know I was gonna say, speaking of Sega Genesis trap music, I know Screw Stash was the first person to make this Sega Genesis trap beat of Playboy Cardi's Cancun, and then it's been used worldwide. And then people don't even. Here's the thing: the crazy thing about it is people don't even know he was the one who produced it at first.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, wow, yeah, and that's really crazy because I know somebody actually did like a remix of his shit. I think it was Luxurious. Who did a remix of it. And I was like, okay, that's really cool. That's really nice. And then someone else did like a cover of it, and I was like, that one's lame. It was really lame.
It's always the most random shit that pops off and goes viral, man.
Yeah, and then it's like when you do something that you're known for, people forget you did that. Which is like crazy.
Absolutely. Welcome, Crystal Laura. I hope you're doing well. Hope you two are doing well so far. I hope you are doing well tonight.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh yeah. So I was gonna ask. Has there what are your favorite artists in the mainstream? I think you mentioned, you liked Eminem, Kendrick, and all that stuff. Is that sort of, the flow of like do you like the lyrical rappers, or like what other sorts like mainstream music do you draw
I
inspiration
just
from?
love any kind. Yeah, I just love any kind of rap. Like as long as you're like rapping. But if you're just like rapping about all this necessary, but like I don't mind. But if it's really stale, then I just don't want to listen to it. Like it's the same
Yeah.
stuff with like every other VR chat anime rappers. They be writing the same old sound. You got Remilia bands sticking with the same old flow, same old sound. She don't even know what the fuck she talking about. 556 Kurumi doing the same shit. Like nigga, I don't want to hear this bullshit. And you got the people who got freaking they ripped off the models from Zenless Zone Zero, and then they was like, oh, she made this person. But they don't even. Here's the thing. Here's what pisses me off the most about this shit. Like, it's really cool to be a VR chat rapper. That's fine. But it's like if you do shit like this and you use an AI voice just for your shit, you not Glorb. You are not Glorb. Okay. Like here's the thing. You are not Glorb, but you can never be fucking Glorb. Here's the thing. If you want to be fucking Glorb, and because he's using the voices from like all the other SpongeBob characters, but at least he can write and have fucking bars, dog. Y'all niggas ain't doing this. Y'all niggas ain't doing the same shit like him because y'all don't know when to fucking write for shit.
AI really does bring out the mediocrity in a person's creative vision, I feel.
Yeah, but it's like it's not only that, but I know I'm literally in this one server. I'm not sure what the fuck it's called, Nine Senko or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I literally just saw like Remilia just like pop out of nowhere, and I'm answering in this one freaking voice chat, and it's literally all I hear is just that same voice. Like that's what pisses me off the most. How you gonna fucking use the same fucking voice just for your fucking voice chat and possibly from your song as well? That's stupid. Like, can I literally just like, dude, you're a nigga behind a fucking female model's mask. What fucking sense does that make? And then y'all niggas want to beat like. Here's the thing. If they gonna get mad at me because I said this shit, bro. Here's the thing. I have something that they don't have, and that is called range.
Yeah, I mean,
it's called range. The reason, yeah.
You got to work for it.
I'm sorry for cutting you off.
You're good. You're good. If you're I think I was having this conversation with Mortal Martian about like the whole notion of being like a virtual rapper. Yes, I think it can work, right? But you need to really do the work of selling it. And if you're not willing to really go the distance to do that, it can fall flat on its face.
Yes, like all the way, bro. Like, here's the thing. You hear a sound that pops up, that doesn't mean you gotta fucking write the same old sound over and over again. You stop pulling a Ken Carson and an Osama sign, or possibly any of these Soy Fago, and like, dude, just pick a different kind of beat, okay? Pick a different kind of beat. It doesn't matter what kind of beat or style it is. And what you gotta do, write something that hits. Write something that hits not only you, but the listeners. Like, here's the thing. I used to freestyle. I not just like write songs, but I used to freestyle my songs because I didn't at first write. But evidently, when I'm always listening to my old music, I'm always thinking like, I really gotta write something because I don't want to like, say one thing and then I gotta go to the next part, which is really confusing because that's like a lot of brain power. So that's why I always have to write stuff down in order for me to like proceed to the next verse.
Yeah. You gotta do it. You gotta do, gotta do it piecemeal. It takes time to build something great.
It really does. And it's like, it's not about that's what I literally learned about the hard way in the industry, in the underground industry. It's not always about numbers. It's about your art, your artistic expression, and plus,
exactly.
It's your freedom. It's your freedom of speech. Whatever you want to say on your songs, but you really don't mean it. but like just write it. Just write it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's what the thing that I get so tired of when people like I remember when Eminem was like popping like all across the globe because like his lyrics was like elevating. His lyrics was just like having a lot of people stand up to like all the bullying and all like the problems that's going on in the world. But it's like that. Here's the thing: before it was protesters, it was outside. My own generation, which is Gen Z, my own generation does not like fucking Eminem because people would be like, oh, his lyrics are it's so offensive. That's like that's literally the thing. That's the same thing with comedians, bro. I can take Dave Chappelle's jokes.
I mean,
and I can just say possibly right here.
I will say, I think that Eminem was definitely more of a product of his time, coming out of the whole 90s aggro wave of like, the rise of gangster rap, and his was definitely a bit more, I guess, it was a more interesting, not more interesting perspective, but it was a different perspective that you didn't really see in hip-hop, in that it was like, poor, impoverished, non-PC white coming out of the Detroit suburbs, and it was, I don't know, like I don't want to come off as justifying like negative thing, but he was clearly to a point playing a character then back in the day, right? I mean, that was the whole thing of the Slim Shady persona.
Yeah. Well, I ain't gonna lie. It's not only Eminem, actually. It's Kendrick. Kendrick Lamar is like one of my most favorite rappers of all time.
Yeah.
Because I literally put him on my top 10.
Yeah.
My top 10. Like fucking Kendrick Lamar is like always number one. Because he's always about being an artist. Like there's a difference between like being an artist and being an artist. Like if you put your work and dedication into whatever project that you're doing, you can have people relate and feel. That's like the thing about music. You want people to feel. That's the thing about me when I'm trying to like write songs. I want people to not only just like vibe out to it, but I really want people to like feel and relate to like whatever I'm saying in my lyrics. It's just like, hey, I've done such and such, and yeah.
Kendrick to me is an unmatched storyteller, I think. I mean, this might be a stereotypical thing for a white cat like me to say, but Kendrick is definitely my favorite. Kendrick is definitely my favorite rapper.
No, you're good.
On the scene, I think. I don't know. I just feel like he puts so much like consideration and thought into the way he presents like all like his lyrics and his album flow in general. Like talk about fucking, I don't know, the whole progression in Good Kid, Mad City or T-Pab, like those are stellar albums back to front.
Yeah. Like literally, bro. And it's I know it's like a lot of rappers I put on like my list because I know it's Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Nas, Jay-Z, literally Jid, Jack Harlow, Cordae, like all like these people who can actually write and like say some stuff. Like it doesn't like have to stick to like the topic, but it's just like if you know how to write and rap, then like yeah, we can definitely make something work out. But it's like if you yeah, but it's just like if you're really gonna be writing on that fucking same old sound in all your songs, then you're really not worth my time.
Yeah. Insert Kendrick Lamar control verse here.
I got love for your wall, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. Yeah. I
Let me.
think that was like that one verse that had the whole industry in shambles. And even Big Sean was actually just salty about that because he himself didn't like that shit because I'm not sure if it was like offensive to him, but it was just like, you didn't have to do that.
I mean, certainly Drake was stung by that, as a recently crashed lawsuit will tell you.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie. Don't get me started on fucking Mr. I Study Law.
Oh my god. Aubrey Graham, what a man.
You know how a battle rap, here's the thing. If you know how a battle rap works, if you know how a battle rap works, then you gotta know when to just like, just brush it off and then just keep making what you're trying to do. But the fucking Canadian idiot decides to take the other way around and to file a lawsuit because he's sick and tired of that one song that's so popular. And I'm like, dude, it's really and I'm actually glad that this lawsuit was dismissed because the lawsuit was just pointless to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for as damning as some of the allegations that Drake made could have been, as far as the whole, bot farming and what have you, I feel like Drake was ultimately the worst villain in the whole thing in terms of like chilling speech in rap lyrics. That is a low that you do not want to go to in terms of winning a fucking beef.
It's so embarrassing for him to file a lawsuit because he lost to a rap beef. By a dude who's like 5'6" and has a size 7 men's on.
Oh,
and I'm like, how do you get roasted by a dude who's shorter than you and has a smaller shoe size, but he has the brain of a juggernaut?
We stand a short king in this household.
Dude, bro, that's facts. All the way, dog.
So you've got a few different works on YouTube and SoundCloud at the moment. I think I listened to your most recent one just before stream, or what was the one that, what was it? Progress? Yeah, I think I listened to that one before stream again, and I thought that was pretty cool. But I'm curious to know, which has been the favorite project you've worked on to date? And forgive me if this is like choosing between a favorite child. If you want, you can answer like multiple choice, but
that's cool. Can I pick more than one?
Yeah, of course.
Hell yeah. So one of them is good shit, John Wilkes, because I know for sure I bodied that beat that Juicebox gave me because I had this bar in my head, literally, and it's like one of the most dopest bars that nobody in the underground has ever touched.
Mm-hmm.
Number one.
Yeah.
And it's literally a chorus line. It's just, step in this booth like John Wilkes. It's how I'm shooting my shot. Because if you studied social studies and history, you should have known that John Wilkes Booth was the person who was behind Abraham Lincoln and shot him, literally in a balcony.
That is a good play on words. As a history major from Cat College, I very much appreciate.
Bruh, and it's like really cool. It was like so dope. I had to write it down on my iPad. No, iPhone. I don't know why the fuck I said iPad. But yeah, it was so freaking cool. I had to like write it down. I'm like, cool. Okay, I got that down, and I gotta write some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was like writing some other stuff. I remember I was I think I had my second laptop in the middle of May, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna test out some recordings, and then I made this song called Big Me, which was I'm just gonna talk my stuff and like just leave it at that. And then I had like some other punchlines, and I had like some other bars that possibly no one has ever mentioned to me about, because I know people don't even listen to like, lyrics that much. They write like the people who literally just write on this bullshit. Ken Carson, like I fucking hate Ken Carson. I fucking hate that nigga, bro. Him, Osama-san, so Fago, like bro. I can't fucking stand Soy Fago, bro, because that nigga is just he's the person who was next up for fucking years, and we got so fucking tired of it. Because like we know he was next here. He was next up multiple times. We get it. You don't have to fucking mention it to us all the time. Like we know he was next up. Why are you mentioning this shit now?
But so what I'm gathering, he's sort of like a Zion Williamson of underground rap.
Yeah, like for real. But like I digress. I remember writing some stuff, and then whenever I started writing this first verse, I was just like, oh my god! I just brainstormed a part in the verse, and I just added. I'm like, okay, that actually sounds dope.
Yeah.
Because I discussed this on my live stream, and I was like, okay, cool. And I want to see if anyone can get this bar. And here's the thing. The one line that I wrote was, cooking in the kitchen with the dishes on site. I'ma go Han Solo with a pan. And that's a double entendre, because if you're a nerd like me, you should know that in Dragon Ball Z, Gohan has a daughter named Pan. And in Star Wars, Han Solo is the person in Star Wars. So go Han Solo with a pan, because why? I'm cooking in the kitchen with a pan. Going Han Solo, or go Han Solo. Like if you listen to, here's the thing, if you're the person who actually listens to hip hop, you should possibly know shit like this.
Yeah.
You should possibly know shit like this.
No, I love whenever like rappers like put in like double, triple entendres in like a single bar. It's great.
Yeah, I think that was like my first double entendre ever. And then I was like, okay, cool. I'll just like write some simple bars, and that's it. Yeah, that's cool. And,
oh my god.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And the second verse, it was just, I went a little bit too far, but it was worth it. Because there's this rapper named Isbroki. I literally use her name as wordplay because she has two names, Isbroki and Steppy. So I literally said, you was a brokey trying to act all rich, because in other words, you're a person who doesn't have a lot of money, who acts rich on like all these other social platforms.
Right.
Like you are a brokey. You is a brokey, but is a brokey trying to act all rich. And I said, treat you like a walking librarian and get to stepping. Because like a walking librarian, because what you do in the library, you shush. And like in verses, Steppy was like the second name, and I was like, oh my god, that's so dope.
That's fun.
And then like I proceeded to like do a little bit more worse, because here's the thing, because I'm literally like making this whole album to see how many people can I piss off with a lot of lyrics that I say. And I literally just came out the blue and said, pull a Adolf Hitler on Cinder. Pull a hellhound in my oven, see if she heats up. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
I literally just like wrote it. I was like, dude, whoa. It's so vile, but it's so dope. But it's like, because if you know, freaking, yeah, and I know, and I don't like Nazis. I hate Nazis, number one. And number two, freaking Adolf Hitler has an oven, okay? He was like telling all the people, it was like hot in here, but it was like a whole oven. And Cinder who was a VTuber who done some dirty shit behind the scenes. And then all of a sudden, because I know she sent this big ass 1,000 document that us black people did not want to read, because we don't want to fucking hear your bullshit. Like, we just want you out of here. That's it. You done some shit. And and the reason why I said put a hellhound in my oven, see if she heats up, because she's a hellhound VTuber. But versus, like, there's like a thing in me saying, oh, that's a double, because I know in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Dio put Josuke's dog in a furnace. I put a hellhound in my oven, see if she heats up, because the bursting out the furnace, just burning alive. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
It
that's
was really cool.
Yeah, that's man. Pyro Pups are gonna be coming after you hard for that one, but I doubt they're
Hey, listen,
of
hey,
many
listen. If they
numbers
come
these
after
days.
if they come after me, I don't care. I don't care. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If any other person who listens to this interview is gonna come at me, they better come at me in the booth. All right. I don't want people like, you know, just go on Instagram and Twitter, just mentioning me out of nowhere. No.
Oh my
What
God.
you need to do is put all your anger and frustrations in those pens and papers. And then if it's good, I'll respond. But if it's not, it's a waste of my time. That's
You hear that, Pyro
Because
Pups?
you're not gonna waste my time and just mention me and just say some bullshit.
You hear that, Pyro Pups? You might
hear
be.
that, Power Pups?
You're gonna have to come at him like 20-1, like fucking all those Cali rappers at Joey Badass.
Oh my God! Now I ain't gonna lie, that East Coast and West Coast shit was kind of fucking dope, but it was actually vile because a lot of them West Coast rappers was using the East Coast beats, and they was like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
going way too far with that." Holy shit!
It was a fun game of tennis to watch.
Back and forth.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? So how would you say your sound as an artist has evolved? Actually, no, before I ask that, I kind of wanted to go off of, you mentioned Big Me, right? You had I saw that
Yes.
one too. Like you had a music video that you made with the Forward Music Group in VR chat, and it's dope as hell, I think. How did that come about?
Well, for starters, here's the thing. VR chat's been popping up for years. I love VR chat. I never got a chance to use it because I don't have a big enough of a RAM of a gigabyte, and then
Right.
I don't have the full body equipment. So yeah, virtual was just like, hey, that's fine. Like, you just pass me your model, I'll do the rest. I'll do the choreography. I'll do like the mixing. Yeah, and shout out to Virtual Beats, bro, because like I know I've been a fan of him since like 2022,
Mm-hmm.
and then like I first encountered him like face to face in the Discord chat. He was like, "Oh snap, yeah," and then like we was just chatting, we was like really getting along, but it's just like it was really freaking dope, and not to mention he has other people who rocks with him. It was Diet Sushi, Damian Hendrix. I think there's Z, and I think there's Bunny. Yeah, I think those people is really freaking dope. But and I remember like when I was like chilling with him in his other the other server, he has this other server that he's joining, and it's called 2.0. And I'm not sure what sparked the controversy. Somebody actually just twisted a narrative in my DMs, and they was like, "Really? He did that?" And I'm like, "That's really dumb to imagine," because I'm like, let's be honest, the people in 2.0 they be doing all this nonsense. They be just riding with the same sound. Like their freaking songs just sounds exactly the same. Like at least it's like, here's the thing, that like there's nothing wrong with basic flows. I can give you basic flows, but like if you don't have anything that's not like interesting for me, then it's really not worth my time listening.
Yeah. I hear that.
Yeah, and it's just like people want to like call him out for being like like whatever and whatever, but I'm like he's the person who's been doing all this work, so why the fuck y'all niggas is really mad at him?
Yeah.
And like let's not forget hip hop is a sport. I'm not sure if y'all remember that hip hop is a freaking sport. Y'all just don't know it yet because y'all are literally YNs. Y'all are literally YNs. Y'all don't even know when hip hop started, bro. Like, here's the thing, and I'll possibly speedrun this shit. Hip hop started when Mario Luigi was fixing pipes in Bronx. And if you watch the movie, they're literally from Brooklyn, New York, because that's the same place that hip hop took place.
Mm-hmm.
or
I
actually when hip hop started, because it's crazy.
yeah, no, I lived so few months ago, or actually for a few years, like for the past 2 years until a few months ago, I lived actually a few blocks away from like Linden Boulevard, and I'd always think of that, that one fucking line from Low End Theory, back in the days of the Boulevard of Linden and all that stuff. I was
Yeah.
very, very much in those like birthing grounds of hip hop. It's a very very storied genre, that.
Yeah, that's really, really crazy.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
But ooh, sorry. I had
you're
to
good. You're
catch
good.
my freaking breath.
You're good. You were ranting a bunch there. How would you say
I'm
your
sorry.
sound has evolved though? Like did you start out, in a particular sort of flow and evolve to something else, or?
Well, my beat selection is just like the same. I just pick whatever. Like sometimes I'm always picky with whatever beats I get. It doesn't matter if it's mine or if it's all of my producer friends. Like I can just pick one thing and that's it. And then
Yeah,
I can just
yeah.
stick to that person. I'll just stick to that sound and I'll just be like, cool. But I don't stick to that one sound on every single one of my songs because it's dumb.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
like we
yeah.
want to hear something. Like everybody wants to hear something different
Yeah.
nowadays. Like we don't want to hear the same old, same old.
Definitely, definitely. You got to have some variety.
Yeah, and it's just like, well, I just load up FL and I just pick whatever beat, like whatever beat suits me well, and then I can just load that beat up and I can just process in my mind on how to start it off instead of like just going at it and freestyling. Because like I remember when I actually just started doing it, it was like really unique at first, but then it became really more difficult
Mhm.
because it was so much brainstorming that I had to do, and I'm like, it really sent me over the edge because I'm like, I'm not even doing this shit. I'm not even doing all this shit, bro. And then I
Yeah.
literally had to listen to all these other rappers. Like there was SSJ Daki, bro. SSJ
Oh,
Daki can literally rap his ass off, bro. He's dope.
that's a
He is
nice.
dope.
That's an awesome rapper name too.
Yes. The first time I've heard of him, he was freestyling on Meteor Herd. And I'm like, that's really freaking
Oh,
dope.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then literally one of my friends painted me with that said post, and they was like, dude, you got 24 hours to do like a freestyle of this. And I'm like, okay, cool. I just grabbed the Meteor Herd OST and I just wrote some stuff down. And I'm like, okay,
Mm.
cool, how's this? And they was like, yeah, this is nice. And yeah, that's
It
literally
would
how I did.
it would be
'Cause-
amazing to hear like
oh,
all those old Knuckles rap songs like remade with like fucking like bonkers lyricists, like, because no disrespect to Hunted P, but he wasn't exactly the most flowing lyric meister in the rap game.
yeah. Yeah, I mean he's really cool at first, and then I mean I ain't gonna lie, there was like a lot of things happening on his side because there was like some allegations,
Oh
but
yeah,
later on
yeah.
I found out that no, but later on I found out it was the other person. I'm like, oh, so he's in the clear.
uh,
It's not only him, but it was like Dread Fox who did the voice of Parappa the Rapper, and then
oh
all of a
no.
sudden,
Uh,
yeah, and all of a sudden it was like some freaking post that literally said, yo, Parappa the Rapper told me to go fuck myself. And I'm like, wait, he did what? Yo, I never knew that until like a few years ago. And I'm like, what the hell? But here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. This is the thing that took place. Whenever you're an artist, you have an ego. And when you
Yeah.
have that ego, you can't balance yourself and your artistic expression.
Mm-hmm.
Like here's the thing, I never in my life since I started in this industry, I've never egoed anybody, not even my
Mm-hmm.
friends, because like I know for sure when you're an ego rapper and you always talking about, oh, I got this and I got that, and then
Yeah.
I got this same, it's better than yours. Like that's when you just lost the conversation. You just lost that entire battle with me because
Yeah.
not only you're saying that, but it's just like you're not really being true to your whole word because like you got all these bots who's backing up with you, and then these people
Mhm.
just don't even know what the real artistic expression really is. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, no, it's sad to see any artistic medium become a numbers game or a bragging game or what have you. And there's definitely room for bragging in hip hop. It goes back to its literal roots, but at the same time,
Yeah.
like if we're gonna go like full opulence, it's just like I don't know, it's kind of garish.
It's really, really crazy because it's up to a conversation in hip hop, and it sends me over the edge. We're not talking about numbers. We're talking about the art. All right? Like y'all forget the genre. Y'all forget the freaking genre, bro. It's not
Yeah,
only
yeah.
hip hop, but it's every other genre, from drum and bass, from from techno and dance, and
Yeah.
possibly like it's not only in America's music, but like the same thing with K-pop. Like
Mhm.
K-pop is loved by a lot of people, and I have no problem with K-pop at all. I'm a fan of K-pop. I'm a
Right,
fan
right,
of
right.
K-pop. It's that, and it's J-pop.
Mhm.
I love them shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and I wanna bring this up too.
Sure.
Um, there's this one guy. There's this one guy named Sush Boy. I literally found him like out of nowhere in my Instagram feed, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. And I listened to some of his songs, and it's really, really unique because he has that kind of way to not only just to make this into like a whole looping beat, but make it into an actual song, like and just write
Mhm.
some stuff. Like be creative about it. He's a creative person, bro. And when I actually asked him to collab with me, he actually got really, really excited. And I'm like, oh
Oh, hell
snap!
yeah.
I'm not gonna fail you. Yeah, but here's the thing, there's a song of mine called SD, which is like the acronym for slow down, and it was like the side B on my album Tales from the Dark Side.
Mhm.
And I sent him like an open of it, and then he sent one back. He sent like an acapella version of it, and then he
Mm.
was like, "Oh, I hope you like this whole thing." And then I literally just like loaded it up in my project, and I listened to his verse, and I was like, "Dude, this is so freaking dope! This is so awesome! This is amazing!" And it really feels me in a way.
Yeah. I mean, that's the that's the best, when you're just hitting it off with somebody else who's just really good at their musical craft. It's why I love being in bands so much. I'm in two right now. I say that with full pride. I love playing with other people and bouncing off of them.
That's cool. That's cool.
Uh, Let me see.
Oh,
So,
I was like, I'm not sure if I don't want to waste everybody's time, but I
no,
I
go
want to
ahead.
add two more people because I'm literally just like rapping some shit. Um, Young Scars and Marta Goat, one of my
Mhm.
two favorite underground rappers. They are like they're so freaking dope and talented,
Mhm, mhm.
especially Young Scars, because Young Scars can literally rap and he
Oh
can
yeah.
write. Like I'm talking about like write. He like him and Mari is on that him and Mari the Goat is on that anime flow, but
Mhm.
at the same time they're like on the other, like the stuff that's outside of anime, like
Yeah.
and that's what I love about that. Like I love when like artists are like just like not
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love rapping, but it's like if you're rapping and if you want to get at like the bars, I'm way into that. I'm literally way into like dissecting or like like remembering other bars. I love going back and just listening to it and going back and listening to it. That's how much of a fan I am when I'm listening to their stuff. And like, and they just dropped their 2 sides called Classified. It's so freaking dope. It's really amazing.
That
Yeah.
I see. The thing is, with you, with all these artists and like you being able to easily collab with them, I wish it was as easy for like VTubers on the sort of rock spectrum of things, because I feel like, how I said I have 2 bands, those are IRL projects completely apart from VTubing. I've wanted for a while to like form a VTuber band, but I feel like it's just like so much difficulty with logistics unless you're just planning on doing like one-off, like sort of drop it drop it on the internet and release it as like a single and never intend to play it live. Like that's feasible enough, and I see definitely there's a lot of people in the rap sphere that drop mixtapes and all that stuff like all the time, but I don't know, with with rock, if you were to like form a VTuber band, I feel like it'd just be so limited in scope with what it could accomplish.
Oh my goodness, like I ain't gonna lie, there's her name all the time, but it's like there's this one VTuber who's a guitarist.
Yeah,
I love her. I love her music and her fucking guitar. But it's not only that, but she does a growl really, really well. And I'm like,
yeah.
I've never heard a VTuber do shit like this.
Fuck yeah.
I've never in my life.
You gotta love our heavy metal VTubers. I think I've encountered a few people on this program doing this program who do their own sorts of productions, but also incorporate a lot of like metal influence into like typical VTuber idol music aside, and it's great. I love getting to hear like all these different like stylistic evolutions on what's typically before been seen as just stereotypical VTuber music, which is more so just like J-pop and idol stuff. But like I don't know, it's kind of like along the lines of what you were saying earlier about like wanting to see like the style shift and not artists coming along and not just doing the same thing over and over. It's good to see like musical evolution in the VTuber community. The more people enter with all these different influences aside from J-pop and Vocaloid and what have you. No disrespect to J-pop and Vocaloid, but
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're freaking amazing, bro. I love J-pop and I love Vocaloid a lot. They're like my favorite ones. That's the way how I discovered Hatsune Miku at first. Like it was like 2016 and some shit. And it's really, really fun. It's really fun.
So.
Oh, but I do want to. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but like I do want to mention that not only is just like heavy metal and just like normal music itself. I'm not sure if you are familiar with this subgenre called trap metal. It's really like overloaded good.
Interesting. Is it like just like trap beats mixed with metal?
Yes. It's sort of like that. Yeah, and it's really cool because sorry, my bad.
I wonder.
No, you can go ahead.
No, it's fine. I wonder like what the difference something like that would be with like rage, for example, because isn't rage meant to be the more aggressive form of trap, and now you got like trap music with metal guitars? Isn't that just like an offshoot of rage?
Yes. Rage type beats are like everybody's favorite genre. From Lil Darky and possibly my personal favorite, Cicada. Like freaking Cicada and 333 Toast, and like they're dope. And I know Isbrokey did some couples. I think I've heard some snippets of it, but it's really really nice. It's really
Mhm.
nice. It's just like way too loud for my ears, so I had to turn the
Yeah,
volume
yeah.
down. But I
I'm
can still
sure.
listen to it. I can still listen to it and enjoy it, but I'm just like I don't want to go way too crazy on it. Because like the moment I just like listen to it, I just start rocking my head until I get like a short migraine. That's like the same thing with Lil Shlain, with one of Lil Shlain's music. It was like so freaking metal and
Yeah.
so freaking ragey. I was like, I gotta stop shaking my head too much because I don't want my brain to fall off.
Oh my god. Yeah, for real. That was me the other fucking night. I went to a concert by this one Australian band called Orb. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're like in the sort of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard orbit of things over in Melbourne, Australia, and they're like this sort of stoner metal band that incorporates a lot of like psychedelic influence, jazz influence too. And they were just like the heaviest fucking thing. I headbanged so hard that fucking night.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, speaking of, like, have you gone to very many concerts, like rap, rock, or otherwise?
Uh, not that I know of, but I know I listen to all genres of music. I mean, including
Right.
gospel music, because
Right.
like gospel music was like the one song I grew up
Mhm.
listening to as a kid. Because
Mhm.
there's like when you're listening to gospel music, you can think of just Moss. those are like my favorite people. But the first concert I ever went to was like a William Singer's concert. It was really freaking dope, and I
Oh,
actually
yeah.
got their picture saved on my phone, and I'm like, oh, this is really nice. Because here's the thing, I love the William Singers like
Mhm.
as a teenager.
Mhm.
I was like really cool, and then when they were coming to my state, I really asked my dad and my brother. I'm like, hey, I want to go to there, and I'm like, cool, we'll go there. And then like yeah, we had a good time. It was like a lot of gospel artists that was popping up on the stage.
That's
Kim
cool.
Burrell was there. She was trying to do like the entrance, but she ended up singing like 2 songs, which is really really nice.
Mhm.
And I think there was one other concert the other gospel concert I went from the amphitheater. I heard Dottie Peoples was there, and not only her, it was the Clark sisters, and not only was the Clark sisters, but it was Donnie McClurkin and it was Fred Hammond. And I like Fred Hammond was like one of my most best gospel artists because
Mhm.
he was like that one hype man and he's that one singer at the same time. He's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. He's really cool.
That's awesome.
And then I got a chance to like meet Donnie McClurkin for the first time, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, he's really nice. But I know like he actually, but like I've never really got to like a face-to-face conversation with a successful artist.
Mhm.
Excuse me. I've never like gone to like a face-to-face conversation with him before, but it's like the
Yeah.
first time he actually gave me that conversation. That's why I learned about his side of the industry at first, because at first when he started, he was like I was like just making just like just 125 the way
Mhm.
when I started, and then after a while he started like being I think he was started like becoming a thousandaire like on his way
Yeah.
up. And I'm like, oh wow, that's really crazy.
Mhm.
But his catalog is just amazing. Like from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
classics all the way to the new one, it's just cool. I just
Mhm.
love listening to Donnie McClurkin. He's
That's
like
cool.
mine and my favorites. But my favorite gospel artist is just Jay Moss, because he's just good with not only just vocals, but he's good with acapellas.
Mhm.
And that's like my inspiration of him. I love doing acapellas. I try my best to like succeed in them, but I don't because
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
a good singer at first. Because like I always use autotune a lot, but at least I can like still sing properly.
It's relatable.
Yeah.
I how to say, I haven't really listened to very much gospel on my own time. I mean, I've performed, gospel tunes before in like choir or whatever in high school and college, but like I don't know. I've not really listened to a whole lot of gospel, even though I've definitely heard music influenced by it. But I I don't know. For me, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not really that much of a religious person to begin with, so to hear like a bunch of songs all sort of repeating around the same theme of like, salvation and faith in Christ and all that stuff, like, it's sort of it's very repetitive. It gets gets very
Yeah, it gets on people's nerves a lot of times.
yeah.
I think that was Kurt Franklin's response of The New Nation project, because people was like sick and tired of listening to gospel music all the time. It was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to hear this shit. And I'm like, man, like, just respect it. It's a good genre.
Oh yeah, I mean it can definitely be done, right, religious music for sure. Even like Christian rock and Christian metal, there are a few good tracks here or there I've come to find. Like I recently did a bunch of research into the band Striper for one of my deep dives on my channel, and they're a fascinating bunch. If you've never heard of them, they formed back in LA in like the 80s, and like they what was it? They started off very traditional glam metal, like, Motley Crue or Rat, but then they sort of reconnected with their faith and were like, we can use the power of heavy metal to spread the word of Jesus Christ. And so they had like all these fucking concerts where they'd toss Bibles out into the crowd and like say the Lord's Prayer with the crowd, and like and
They tossed the Bibles out?
Yep, yeah, they were they had like they had Bibles with like Striper stickers either stuck on them or like with them. It's like it was some really high budget, like I wouldn't say maybe a mega church predecessor sort of thing, but
Oh my god.
just very it's very it was a very 80s way of selling Christianity, which especially shocking considering how much Christians in the 80s hated metal.
Oh my god, yes, they did. They ain't had no chill with it, because I was like, oh, it's the devil's song. We get it. That's fine. But it's just like, it's dope. It's really cool. Like, that's what I really like most about rock music.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite band is my two favorite bands, Slipknot and System of a Down. Those are my two favorite bands.
Cool.
Lord have mercy, they are so amazing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody can tell me otherwise, because System of a Down, I've been listening to two of their albums, Toxicity and Mesmerize. Those are like my two albums I love the most.
Mm-hmm. No, System of a Down are really good. I really fuck with Toxicity too. I haven't really taken that much of a deep dive into their other albums, but Toxicity is a fucking banger back to front.
Oh yes.
So, what inspired you to become a VTuber? Like, where did that come from?
What inspired me to become a feat? I saw Gar do it. The first person. It was what? Hold on a second. Yeah, I keep on messing up my speech.
You're good. You're good.
It wasn't. Not only it was Gargora, but I always loved watching Iron Mouse.
Oh yes, Mousy is great.
Those are like my two inspirations. Gargora and Iron Mouse is like one of the most two people who are on top of the VTuber community.
Absolutely.
Or the industry, actually.
I mean, yeah, like Gura is basically, she had like the fucking YouTube side on lock, and fucking Iron Mouse had Twitch.
Yeah. But it's really, really, really sad because or Gargura, and then it's really sucked because she had to graduate, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
no. And I know one of my friends who's a VTuber. He's a like a little shark VTuber. He
Oh, okay.
he loves Gora so much, and then
Aw.
he was like kind of like emotional about it, which I really didn't mind because I'm like, I feel for you, bro. I
Yeah,
love Gora.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
Gora, bro. And Iron Mouse was like literally one of my inspirations. So
Mhm.
like, you know, because I always like say I want to become a VTuber. I literally told my friends in one server I literally want to become a VTuber, and them niggas just straight up laughed at my face, and I'm like, really, nigga? I'm like, bro, like you're crushing my hopes and dreams of becoming a VTuber. Here's the thing, I never became a VTuber until the beginning of 2025,
Yeah,
which is really
yeah.
crazy.
Mhm. And so you use like Vroid to sort of make your model, is that right?
Yes, because
Mhm.
I remember when I started out in a basic, like, you know, blue hood shirt, black
Mhm.
pants, and you know,
Yeah, default
freaking
Vroid model.
the gray shoots. Yeah, but yeah, there was like, because I know they had like a black Converse shoes, and I just colored them gray because that's what I rocked with. I loved gray shoes,
Hell yeah.
but I know I was like scrolling through, like, you know, Twitter, and there was like, it was this one VTuber, I forgot what her name was, but I think she knows what I'm talking about. I sent like my model because they want to do like a review on it, and then but her critic was like, you know, your model really isn't really standing out as it should be, and I'm like, oh, okay. But
Mhm.
literally when I listened to it, and I was like, okay, she's really right about it because I got to do something about this whole model thing. And here's the
Yeah, yeah.
thing. And I didn't have the budget, like, to, you know, I can't hire somebody to, you know, make
Mhm.
my model for me. I had to improvise and go to, like, you know, the booth website and to see
Absolutely,
what
yeah.
other outfits I could pick. Yeah, and then that's so I got the black and blue hood shirt with the man bun on the back, because I
Mhm.
literally, it's like a normal hair, but literally I just added a man bun because I'm like, yeah, because I was like rocking it like that. And then what I really wanted to do is, because I named this my 1.5 because this
Mhm,
wasn't a
mhm.
2.0 yet, but
Yeah,
this was
yeah.
like a startup. This was like a beta version of the 2.0, because I called it a 1.5 because this is, like, you know, the beginning.
Mhm.
And I'm still Terry Kunage, but
Right,
I
right.
have like other aliases like the Shadow Shinobi / Ghetto Ninja. The Shadow Shinobi because, like, you know, a
Mhm, mhm.
shinobi like um fights in the middle of the night like ninjas do,
Right.
and the Ghetto Ninja because I carry a sword and a 9mm in the side of my pants.
Nice little bit of lore.
Yeah, yeah, that's literally how I am. Like, if I actually like do want to be a shinobi, I gotta carry a sword and possibly some ninja stars with it, but just mainly a sword because I love carrying a sword around.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter
yeah.
how dangerous it is. I love carrying a sword, and I gotta get a Glock with me because I don't even know how other people's gonna act.
Never know if it's going to be a sword fight or a gunfight. It's good to stay prepared.
Actually,
Uh,
because like here's the thing, and my inspiration from it was Dante from Devil May Cry and Deadpool.
oh yeah,
Those are like my two inspirations.
makes sense. Makes sense. Uh, what do you hope to do as a musician in the VTuber community? Like, as loaded as a term as it might be, like, what do you hope is your legacy?
I really want to like give like any other VTuber like a chance to try out new other sounds that
Hmm.
we all listen to.
Oh yeah,
Instead of, like, you know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with, like, you know, just the J rock and the J pop of any of it.
right.
That's fine, but it's like I really want to see what you can do with this, and if you can do with that, that's fine. Like, you could do, like, you know, plug and B, trap music, drum and bass. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I'm definitely okay with that. And like pop music, I can do pop music, and I can do like R&B. I'm fine with whatever. Like,
Hmm.
there's nothing wrong with it. And I
Mm.
don't mind, like, you know, if people want to do like, original songs or like cover songs, I'm all for it.
Hmm.
I'm definitely all for it. I think I'm working on one with Daichi. We're doing this back to back on this one that has hotel song because Vox and Alistair's going at it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I literally just said, yeah, I could just like Vox for this song, and then you could just be Alistair. And he was like, okay, that's cool. So
There
yeah,
you go.
and I think we're still working on it. It hasn't been out yet.
That's how you make the ends. You you collab with the Has-Been people. I'm not too familiar with like Has-Been and Hell of a Boss myself. All I know is that there is such a big, community in the VTuber space that are brain rotted over it.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And like what are some other like dream goals or collabs that you might have?
My dream goal / collab. I want to collab with Mori Calliope.
Oh, yo.
Like, not only on just stream wise, but I want to collab with her on music wise because I want to give her like an old classic boom bap type beat that I made myself, and I want to give it to her to see what can she do with this.
Yeah.
And I like that's like my lifelong dream because Mori Calliope is a good artist. Not only she's a good VTuber, but she's a good musical artist. I know she can rap.
She's got some good stuff for sure. Yeah, I can't say that I've been following her music career too closely since, jeez, what was it? Like, when did she release fucking Your Mori or whatever? But like, it was like she knows, how to write a good bar. She knows how to get, personal with her music. She's definitely, I understand when I see Callie haters in the wild, which is, still far too quite frequent on Twitter or whatever. But I think people generally come at like her or other like virtual VTuber rappers like her in bad faith.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you can't really respect the craft, then what are you really doing here in my space?
Yeah,
that's
it. So when you stream, what do you usually like to do? Are you like a gamer type?
Well, normally I sometimes stream myself making music. It doesn't matter if it's like, this day and the next day. And then sometimes I'll possibly just switch it up. Like, I'll do like reaction videos. And then when that's all said and done, I'll switch to gaming.
Okay.
Because I love to like game a lot. But sometimes like music always comes to me. It's just like, I gotta make a beat.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I always respect VTubers who are able to like sit down and go for hours on like a DAW on stream. Like it's one thing to like do either of those things, but to combine both together and still like entertain your audience out of that, I feel like it's like a very daunting fucking task.
Yeah, for sure.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, on the point of you doing like reaction content, how has that been? Like, do you usually do like a bunch of like reactions to like new music, or like?
It's like it's just like whatever pops up on YouTube, or like if people want me to like watch this and react to this.
Oh yeah.
I've been reacting to like a lot of videos. I missed the point that I have to upload it on YouTube, and I'm like, I keep on forgetting that a lot of times, and I'm like, dang it, I haven't even uploaded in months.
Yeah, timeliness can be a bit of a bitch.
Yeah, for sure. But it's just
I,
like, hey, it's whatever. Cause like it's not only it's just like, music, it can be like, animation, it could be comedy, it can be like an other random video, like it could be a compilation, and like it doesn't matter. Like whatever's up there, and like if I haven't reacted to it, I gotta react to it. Or I can just like,
yeah,
just save
yeah.
it for later. I can just watch myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. Um, was was there ever anything that you reacted to that like sent you down a rabbit hole after the video ended, like off stream or anything like that?
All right. Wait, a rabbit hole?
Yeah, like sent you down like looking for like more songs or whatever, looking into like the history of the artist.
Oh, well, I mean, it's like somewhat. It's really somewhat. I remember like I haven't really like, did like music reaction videos like
Right,
from
yeah.
albums. I remember because I remember it was like in the middle of April.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
hated this shit so much because like it was the month that Playboy Cardi was finna release his new album.
oh,
And then
okay.
he said it was gonna release at 12 o'clock. It never released at 12 o'clock. So I said, okay, why not pass the time to listen to some other music? And my plan was to react to Doechie's album Alligator. Like that
Oh, yeah.
Alligator album. That Alligator
Mm.
Don't Bites.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That album was dope. That
Mm.
was so beginning to end, added on my playlist, and I'm like, she's really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard like nothing but great, like, well, not nothing, but like I've heard so much praise for Doechii, and I gotta respect it, but I haven't really taken too close of a listen to her music. I'm only really familiar with that fucking Anxiety song that literally just it just plays the fucking verse for somebody that I used to know on loop the entire time.
Yeah, for sure.
Like respect to her, but it's sad that our the culture of like nostalgic interpolation that we live in is still as strong as it is.
Yeah, it really is. It's just filled with nothing but bottom feeders. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Fucking what was that? What was that one person who did the fucking big dick energy that was literally just Genius of Love, but like looped the entire time? Was that Lotto?
Votto?
Lotto? I don't know. I remember.
Oh, Lotto. I'm like, wait,
yeah,
what?
yeah. Was it she who did big dick energy?
Yeah. I think. Hold up a second. I might do like a little bit of research first.
You're good. I'm trying to figure
like
this out too. Ah, yes.
Yeah, it is.
It was
It
her.
literally was Lotto.
Yeah. Fucking only called Big Energy because radios are cowards. The FCC is cowards. Just kidding.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Do you have like a favorite video game OST by chance?
Shut. Oh my goodness gracious. I might fan out if I actually say this, but it's because there's like the different versions, but I get the numbers mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
It's Shinobi 3, The Return of Ninja Master. That's like one of my most favorite soundtracks of all time. It's a fucking classic, and I listen to that shit from beginning to end because it's the sound of it is really, really amazing. And we have all these percussions and these synthesizers and these whole powerful bass lines that drains your freaking eardrums. It's so amazing to hear.
So just like peak Sega Genesis sound design.
Yes, like all the time. Like when you're making something from a Sega Genesis, you gotta hit it like a fucking uh fist with a drum set.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's so amazing, bro. And I always love that because it's not only the song is good, but it's like the game is just so amazing. It's like an
Yeah.
action-packed worldwide game that you play as this shinobi named Joe, who sets on foot to battle this one whole syndicate, and all of a sudden you're facing this final boss called the Ninja Master. He's like this one big old android dude. I don't even know what he looks like, but he's just like a ninja master to me. But hey, he's really dope. He's really dope.
I've never played any of the Shinobi games. Is it like sort of like an action? Oh, it's like I'm reading on Wikipedia. It's like hack and slash platforming sort of thing.
Oh yeah, it's like the Shinobi franchise was like the game by Sega.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
They released a new game called Shinobi Art of Vengeance, and I played the demo of it, and the demo was so great. It was so beautiful. I was like, I gotta save up my money to get the full game.
We love when Sega gives love to their old franchises that aren't Sonic.
Oh, but I bet you. Here's the thing. I bet you some of these people don't even know what a console wars was when Sonic Racing Crossworlds was dissing Nintendo with Mario Kart World.
That was I love the whole sort of re-sparked rivalry between that and Mario Kart World. I think that's very cute.
It was really cool. It was really fun to see, because looking at that now, I was like, oh my god, they're actually doing the stuff that they used to do back in the 1990s. Because in the 1990s and to 1990 something, Nintendo and Sega was like going face to face to see which console was the better version for whatever buyer this people was buying, bro. And I'm like, bro, of course, like, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, they're my best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like both. I love both. But music-wise, I just love the Sega Genesis because the bit crushing and the synthesizing in every other instrument stands out the most for Super Nintendo.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, party people, Resi House Part 3 coming along. Hello, metal person. I hope you're doing well. Part 3 on the Glam Metal Deep Dive series is still coming along well. I haven't been able to put in some serious work this week because I've been moving and whatnot, but I am still trucking along with it. I've just secured a few, guests I'll be hopefully interviewing for it. And I'm really hoping that I'll have the script done either next month or early December at the latest. I don't know. I'm trying to have something done for it as soon as I can, but it's just been a long time coming with as many moves as I had, with as much research and listening as I've had to do. So it's still coming along. I'm hoping I'm really hoping that I'll have it done by fucking the end of the year. Knock on wood. Fucking It's such a process making a fucking long-term video. Not long-term video, long-form video, Terry. It's a struggle.
No, it's fine. I understand. I can tell that struggle is real.
Yeah, I mean, like, I have to imagine, like, you making like highlights of your reactions. That takes up like a whole bunch of time that you could, I don't know, like. How do you navigate that, like, with, working on streams and your music and, making the React clips for your channel?
I mean, it's a cakewalk, but sometimes it's a struggle because I use a laptop that runs 4 gigabytes of RAM, but at least I get through it at first. I'm like, okay, so cool. I'll just wait till this loads, and I'm like, cool, I'll do this. But instead of me using CapCut, there's this other app called Shotcut, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
really more fun to use because it's like it runs through 2 gigabytes of RAM, which is really fast,
Mm-hmm.
way more faster.
Right.
Mm.
Man,
But yeah, it's really good. It's really cool.
yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Oh, are there any like instruments or like production techniques that you'd want to learn if you had the spare time?
I have played guitar and piano and violin. Those are my 3
Mm-hmm.
instruments I played.
Mm.
I never, I don't think I never got to use them like recording wise. I just love
Yeah,
playing them in my spare time.
that's understandable. I used to play violin too. That was my very first instrument. Actually, I was kind of conscripted into my school's orchestra, and from there I never practiced violin, but I always used to play in the rehearsals and concerts or whatever. I mean, granted, it was at the end of the day, it was an elementary school orchestra, so the stakes weren't necessarily high. If I didn't really put effort in, but at the end of the day, I feel like I kind of robbed myself not putting in a little more effort.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah.
'Cause I would
I mean, well, yeah.
be
I,
sick
if
to record.
not gonna
Sorry, go ahead.
lie. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. You good? I'm not gonna lie. I always loved playing piano and drums as a kid, but like I
Mm-hmm.
was more strictly on keys because that's
Yeah.
that's like my basic thing to do. But then
Mm-hmm.
when I was like, okay, I want to try something else, and then I went to my first orchestra class in my middle school, and then I
Oh
mastered the
yeah.
violin so well that I never knew that my dad plays violin as well, and I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
then and then I literally just like went to high school, and I was like, cool, I want to. There was like a guitar club in my senior year. No, not my
Mm-hmm.
senior year, but it was just like high school itself. So
Right.
I joined the guitar club, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I went and bought myself a guitar from Guitar Center, and then I played it. And I'm like, oh, this is actually nice. And then here's the thing. The thing about when you're trying to play a guitar, you gotta know like the finger lines and the
Mm-hmm.
tabs and the strings and how like what scale is set up as for each string, which is like to me it's like ugh, but I'm like I gotta do it,
Yeah.
so I don't have to mess everything
It
up.
is. It is
But
effort. I can relate. I've tried
yeah,
learning
and but
guitar 3 different times.
oh yeah, but like the one song that I actually mastered was one of Gorilla songs 5-4, which was
Oh
like
yeah.
out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh my god, can I actually do that? And all of a sudden I started dun 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 dun, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
That's when I was
yeah.
like, I kept on playing. I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually doing it. But yeah, playing guitar is such a blast. I love playing
Oh
guitar.
yeah. No, when you really get, into it and you start doing like chord progressions and stuff like that, that's the furthest I've gotten. It's like the thrill of feeling like being able to string together a couple of chords and be like, "Oh, that's a sequence."
Yeah, for sure.
uh, gonna say, um, well, looks like we're just about at the end of the questions that I've got prepared here. But one final thing that I usually like to, ask my guests as we wrap up these interviews, given the current chaotic state of the world, we all need somewhere to find comfort or what have you. What sort of music do you like to turn to in times of stress? Like when you're feeling anxious, sad, frustrated, like what's your vibe?
It's always hip hop. It's always
Oh
hip
yeah.
hop. Yeah, it's either that or I just love like listening to like some soft rock. I
Hmm.
just love listening to them kind of things.
That's
And
chill, yeah.
it's not only that, but it's just like any other kind of music, just to calm my nerves every time when I'm stressed out, like from work and just from life itself. Because I
Hmm.
know I've been really like on the depressed level every time when I wake up, and I just you know I
Yeah.
always like cope on whatever like reasons I'm just doing. But
Yeah.
and
No.
I've been like
Mm.
parents died like last year, and it really really hurt me at first because I know
I'm
I
sorry.
really really miss them so much. Yeah, but it's really really cool to listen to music every once in a while because that's what really motivates me to make stuff happen.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. No, music is it is like drugs for me. I mean, I also smoke catnip, so drugs are drugs for me. But like,
Oh, yep. Oh
but but
god.
but yes, music is it has helped me get through so much bullshit this year. So, uh, all right. Yeah, that's just about all I had prepared for today. I mean, if you had any other questions or things you wanted to say, feel free.
I want to ask, who's
Sure.
your favorite artist in all of music?
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Wow, that's a unique name.
Yes. They're this Australian psychedelic rock band from Melbourne who, well, they've been around just about like 15 years at this point, and in that time they put out, I want to say, give me a second, how many fucking albums does this band put out? They have put out fucking 27 albums since 2010 and three
Oh,
EPs. And they're just
shit,
incredible.
them niggas has been working.
Yeah, they're just incredible too. They dabble in so many different genres. They play progressive rock music. They have a little bit of jazz influenced music here or there. They have like they have an acoustic album. They have albums where they experiment with like Eastern microtonality. Fucking they have like a few fucking amazing metal albums. And yeah, they're just generally all over the place. I love them.
Yeah, that's nice. That's what I love about music itself. I love to experience and experiment on sounds because
Mm-hmm.
it really gets me on a bright idea of what can I like
Yeah.
really use as my part of my craft. And that's what I
Yeah.
really love. I get that inspiration from Trickster a lot because I know he samples a lot of old songs, but
Mm-hmm.
he's still on that boom bap flow, and that's what I love about
Yeah.
him. He Trickster, I forgot. Trickster sends me a beat like any other day. Any other day, like the next day and a few days come, he'll send me this beat. He'll send me this
Yeah.
beat. He'll send me this beat, and I'm like, Jesus Christ!
He's a very
But I'm
prolific
like, dude,
producer.
he's he is so good. He's really good at just sampling. The reason why he's called a sample guru because he's like every average uncle and grandpa who scrolls through every other vinyl record, puts it on play, and then just chops it up and then just put it at a
Yeah.
freaking drum loop. That's what I love about boom bap. It's just so dope. And then when
Mm-hmm.
you're like, I love when you talk your mind when the beat flows.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
and before we go, can I give like a little shout out to some people that I did not mention during this
oh,
interview?
sure.
Okay, cool. Tycho, Shiro, It's Immortal Martian, a trickster, literally the mains. Uses Mori, Lady Nair, who was originally Sonic Creations, and congratulations for reaching 2 or 3 on her other song, Bad Dream 2, which is the most dopest song to ever exist on this planet. And see Mario to Go, Young Scars, Ash Gray, Lil Shlain, who else? Drama, and the other people from 3-3 Mafia, and the people from Pluto and Tendo Tech, and Winter Cold, 21K Advance, JL Beats, and Screw Stash. Y'all is my inspirations on why I'm keeping going in music. I love y'all niggas, bro, for real.
Well, thank you, Terry, so much for coming on tonight. Where can people best find you?
You can find me on Twitch, normally on YouTube because I upload some other bullshit a lot, and I upload on all platforms, so you can find me on Terry Kunage on Spotify, Apple Music, and SoundCloud, possibly more or less if you want to hear some unreleased stuff that's not available on all platforms. But cool. That's where you can find me, and definitely.
I'm linking your Twitch in the chat. Y'all go follow Terry if you haven't. If you're not already coming over from his community, he seems like very cool people, and he's making some good music. So, yeah. And if you're coming over from Terry's community, please consider subscribing to me, giving this video a like, maybe commenting below. I do these music talk streams either every week or every other week, depending on my other stuff that I do, which is deep dives into music history. I've got a series in the works currently on the history of glam metal, whose finale I'm currently working on right now. So yeah, please subscribe if that interests you. And we are going to raid into Aya Amare's stream. She is doing some Warhammer miniature painting right now, I think. So hopefully she's not doing anything too crazy. Last time I raided in on her, she was doing her whole sort of zaddy roleplay, and I was just like, I regret my decisions instantly. But if you want to join me, if you want to join me in saying hiya to Aya, feel free to type in cat raid in her chat or what have you. But if not, I hope you all have a fantastic night. I hope you all, well, you're probably already eating dinner at this point, but I'm gonna go get some dinner for myself. So I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, Chen.